Hi little skeletons, it's Disney Queen Skelly here, and welcome to my watch later list. I have 449 videos in this watch later playlist that they were ones I had been meaning to watch and just never did. A lot of these are scary shit stuff, which is yay. I went through like a horror kick years ago, like literally this was say 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 7 years ago, like fucking hell. So we're gonna go through this, not obviously all in one go because why would I do that to you guys? So this is gonna be a series where we watch it one at a time, enjoy ourselves, have fun. I'm home alone. Why am I watching scary shit? My volume's turned on my laptop because normally I have it cranked up all the way for you guys. In this case, it's turned down enough to where I'm comfortable, so we're just gonna have fun with it. Okay, so we're gonna start with most haunted roller coasters in the US. I will obviously be tagging the channel as well as the video in the description box below, so you guys can also go watch it for yourselves. So let's get into it.
Roller coasters attract attention from people who are looking to have a good time, but they also seem to attract the attention from paranormal entities. From the Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm to the abandoned roller coasters Rhine Away in New Orleans, today we'll look at the most haunted roller coasters in the U.S. But first, thanks Cynthia for leaving us this comment after watching our best pets for the zombie apocalypse video. We're sure you'll love this horrifying video about some creepy roller coasters out there. Let us know if you've been on any of these rides and maybe we'll feature you in an upcoming video. Number 9, Coney Island Cyclone Roller Coaster. The world.
This is top. Oh no, this is most haunted roller coasters. Why are you doing 9? Do 10. 10 is better.
Famous Cyclone Roller Coaster is made from wood and sits as a monument to all roller coasters. Located in Brooklyn on the world-famous Coney Island, it debuted on June 26th.
It's always been a bucket list of mine to go to Coney Island at some point in my life.
1927. Many have sought to preserve the dangerous coaster since the 1980s, and it might have not been the best decision ever. 3 people had died from fatal injuries since 1985 from either falling off their seat or hitting their head on a crossbeam. This hasn't really been enough to close it down.
And people wonder why I'm afraid of some roller coasters.
People have to be slightly crazy to ride this thing. Nonetheless, it's brought a lot of kids joy while visiting the boardwalk, and most parents are unaware of the things that have happened here. Each year, it's rated within the top 20.
Here's the funny thing though, with the drops themselves, it doesn't look that bad, and Cyclone would probably be something that I'd actually get on if it's not closed.
Roller coasters, despite its dark past. Would you be willing to get on this roller coaster that's possibly haunted? Number 8.
Absolutely.
City Experience. Roller coasters can be extremely fun for that rush of adrenaline that makes us all feel like kids again. The next haunted place mixes things that everyone loves, Batman and roller coasters. But now there's ghosts. The ride was known as Gotham City Experience at Six Flags, Georgia, and Batman.
I hate Six Flags. I literally hate Six Flags. It's too intense for me. I can't get on most of the rides there. It'd be a waste of money for me to ever go to Six Flags, so you'll never catch me there.
Clearly wasn't here to save anyone this day. A 17-year-old boy lost his hat during a ride when he went over 2 fences to get it back.
I've heard this story. Okay, I've worked in attractions before, and I have personally worked on an attraction that could be very dangerous if you go in the low zone, which is exactly where this guy went, was in a low zone, which is prohibited by anyone to go down there unless you have special permission, a key, you're authorized, whatever. And I don't know if I've told this story, but when I worked Knott's Scary Farm, 4 drunk idiots went in our low zone and got in line for accelerator, which thank God I hadn't launched the car yet because that would not have been good. The low zone area is underneath our launch pad, and that launches extremely fast, 82 miles an hour in 2 seconds. I used to know like the exact number, but I don't anymore. But I had to call security on them, and one guy tried to fight security. The other 2 ended up making it on after cutting through everybody, which we tried to stop them. And then one was a girlfriend of the guy who tried to fight security. It was just absolute chaos, and this is why you should never do anything that stupid.
Decision he's ever made. People attempted to get him to stop looking for his hat when suddenly it was just too late. The roller coaster struck him at a high speed and he was a goner. This wouldn't be the end of the mayhem this ride has caused either. A groundskeeper apparently did something similar and was struck in the head by a 14-year-old's dangling foot. She hit the groundskeeper in the head and it actually broke.
Okay, so why would a groundskeeper be going into a low zone while a ride is in motion? That's not okay. In fact, I'm pretty sure they're taught not to do that.
The place already seems pretty creepy, as you can see with this police car that has bullet holes in it. Then you find out about stories like this, and it makes it even worse. Many still tend to sense the spirit of the groundskeeper while getting on this ride. Number 7, Space Mountain, Disneyland.
I know that one. In fact, haven't I talked about it on here before in one of my scary videos?
California is often said to be the happiest place on Earth, but it could also be one of the
Yeah, except nowadays it's changed so dramatically that it barely feels like Disney anymore. Doesn't mean I won't stop going though.
This amusement ride known as Space Mountain seems to attract more than just smiling children. What ghost out there wouldn't want to come to Disneyland if you think about it? Due to the high volume of guests who come here, there's bound to be a couple of tragedies that happen every now and then. Space Mountain is said to be home to a woman who gives off a greenish glow known as Disco Debbie. This was from a soul of a crew member who suffered from a fatal aneurysm. Other Disneyland workers claim to have seen ghosts pop up during the photographs taken here. There's one they call Mr. One Way, who seems to most commonly pop up in a seat next to a single rider. Don't worry about him, guys. He just doesn't want you to feel lonely. Witnesses have described him as having reddish hair and a glowing red face. Number 6, Big Thunder Mountain.
I have a feeling most of these are going to be from Disney.
Next themed roller coaster is a popular ride everyone enjoys coming to at Disneyland, and it features not only beautiful scenery, but also some ghosts.
You know, given all my solo trips, I wonder if I've had any ghosts in my cars whenever I've gone riding, like in any of the attractions.
Bryce Canyon National Park in Utah, and also has a spooky theme that's displayed here. People on the ride get the feel that they're going through a haunted ghost town that was built for mining gold. But the miners didn't realize that they were building on sacred Native American land. Eventually, Big Thunder Mountain was hit by an earthquake because of a curse. But in reality, it also seems truly cursed. There have been over 10 injuries reported on this ride, with one of them being fatal due to poor maintenance. It finally opened to the public at Disneyland in Anaheim in 1979, but there just seemed to be something wrong with all the Thunder Mountains in various locations, such as the one in Paris. Scenery fell in 2011, injuring 5 people at the Disneyland in Paris. It was said to have been from poor maintenance, but could it have really been from a ghost?
See, then at that point, if it's maintenance's fault, you have to fire the people who did that, right? That seems the most logical, right?
Guests at Paris were injured when Big Thunder Mountain derailed. Whatever the case may be, it's certainly a spooky ride to get on, and you should believe that there's something supernatural causing all these mysterious things to happen. Number 5, Ghost Rider, Knott's Berry Farm. With a name
Doesn't surprise me. I worked at Knott's. Knott's takes such shitty care of not only their employees, but of their guests too. And this is a prime example. They get paid the bare minimum, so they do the bare minimum. It's not on them. It's how the company treats them. So it reflects, like, I get it. You know, if you work somewhere, you obviously want to put in your 110%. You don't just want to, like, fucking do something and, like, you don't want to be treated poorly and then, you know, you treat others poorly just because you're being treated poorly. That's not exactly fair, because the people who are coming to these places are coming because they want to be there. They want to have a good time. So it's not exactly fair if, you know, if you're getting paid the bare minimum or treated the bare minimum, that you treat other people the bare minimum, because then it's going to reflect badly back on the company, and it's just not going to be good. If you have issues, take it up with your supervisor and shit, and if they're not going to listen, find another job. I know it's easier said than done, but I promise you, there's not a shortage of jobs out there.
Ghost Rider, you'd have to believe right away that this wooden roller coaster at Knott's Berry Farm is slightly haunted. This bumpy ride is known to be a little bit dangerous, with nearly double the injuries from any other roller coaster in Orange County. There's at least 29 documented cases of some bad incidences taking place here. Most of these were rib injuries due to the roller coaster's high speed and quick turns.
I'm surprised there wasn't any back injuries.
Has been placed, which some are hoping to make it less injury prone. They also had to slow it down a tad due to so many complaints. Maybe there are some ghosts coming from Disneyland and into Knott's Berry Farm. This place gets...
So I unfortunately can't ride Ghost Rider because of how steep the drop is. I rode it once before and I hated it. Absolutely despised it. I rode it like recently. I say recently, but this is like 6 years ago the last time I rode it. I can't get on it again. But when I rode it, it wasn't like... The drop is what got me. Everything else is pretty smooth. Like, I know they've made it smoother and slower over the years, so it's not an absolute death trap to ride, but I still wouldn't get on it.
Spookier when Knott's Scary Farm comes to town in October. Modeled after an old abandoned mining town, the entrance is a dimly lit cave and is sure to send chills down your spine well after the ride is over. Number 4, the ghosts of the Matterhorn. The Matterhorn is a...
So when I worked at Storybook Land, we were able to take a tour inside of Matterhorn because we were the attraction that got the most people like on our attraction, and we got the most like what's the word I'm looking for? We had the most people basically coming onto our attraction. We were able to get through a lot of cycles, board a lot of people. It was really fun. We went and looked at Debbie's Dip. I think that's what it's called, Debbie's Dip. It was surreal just looking at it because we walked it at like after 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. when everything closed, and it was just haunting as hell. We also got to see the little the half court basketball court, and none of us left until we actually made a shot. So, bucket list.
Favorite ride among just about everyone who comes here, but legends of ghosts surround this roller coaster at Disneyland once again. For such a happy place, they sure do seem to have a lot of ghosts following them around.
Yeah, but they also cover it up. Well, they try to cover it up, and then people find out.
The reason for the haunting tales is from a tragic true story. It all started in 1984 when a
Sorry if you could briefly see my hand. I have dust on my screen.
40-year-old woman decided to make the wrong decision of getting on the Matterhorn. The woman flew from the bobsled-type car and hit another roller coaster at that time. That part of the roller coaster will forever be known as Dolly's Dip by all the
Dolly's Dip. There we go.
staff and employees. When workers have to walk the track late at night, this spot always seems to send chills down their spine. Some from Disneyland keep
Did for me.
forward about their experience with Dolly's spirit while operating the Matterhorn. They claim to have never saw her, but could feel her lurking in every shadow. It's one of the visitors of Disneyland that's never left.
Let me get kind of more into the story of Dolly's Dip if you guys haven't seen any of my Scary Disneyland videos. Dolly actually went to go check on her kid in the back because of how rickety the ride was, and she undid her safety restraint, which at the time wasn't exactly great. I've seen what the actual restraints were back then because of a little memorial display case that I've seen. It doesn't surprise me that she was able to undo it so easily, and that's why Disney has gone to multiple lengths over the many, many decades it has been open to, make sure that these safety precautions or that these safety issues don't happen again.
Lights always seem to mysteriously fade out at Dolly's.
I say that after like a week of, or not a week, but like a couple days after the dragon burned at Fantasmic. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of that by now.
Number 3, Goliath, Six Flags.
Another reason I won't go to Six Flags.
Flags Magic Mountain is a huge amusement park north of LA, which is home to some of the most intense roller coasters in California. This place opened up in 1971, and many of the advancements in roller coaster technology we see today is partially because of Six Flags research. The Goliath is a behemoth of a
Hey, good for them. If they're the ones that's testing this shit, that's fine. I'm good. I won't ever go.
roller coaster that allows guests to elevate 235 feet high. Many begin to realize midway through the massive climb to the top that there's no going back, and they get quite frightened. Well, maybe they should. There's more to this massive roller coaster than just steep drops and loops. Workers claim there's a phone booth located right next to the Goliath that seems to pick up phone calls from out of this world. Strange ghostly noises are heard each time the phone rings, which makes it seem like they're getting a phone call from another dimension.
That is absolutely terrifying.
Other employees report feelings of sadness and bursts of cold air, and even sightings of ghosts here late at night. In 2001, a woman suffered a brain aneurysm while riding this ride. Her family sued the park, saying it was their fault. However, Six Flags refused to take any kind of responsibility. Goliath reaches speeds of over 80.
The reason why Six Flags did this, and I can I can explain this pretty well. Brain aneurysms can happen to anyone. Doesn't matter your diet, your exercise, your lifestyle, none of that. Brain aneurysms can happen to anyone at any time. Not to scare you guys, but it's true.
Miles an hour, and she didn't understand that she already had a heart condition. Could her spirit still be at Six Flags? Maybe she's calling the phone because she wants the workers to know what really happened. Number 2, Stratosphere Roller Coasters. The Stratosphere Top.
No, you cannot tell me this. I am staying at the Strat in a couple weeks, and I'm riding those rides. You cannot tell me that this place is haunted, that the rides are haunted. Oh my God.
Is the tallest structure in Las Vegas and the tallest observation tower in the U.S. Construction began back in 1990, and it opened its doors finally.
So right here is a revolving restaurant, and we're gonna be eating there.
In 1996, despite a few fires breaking out, multiple delays in the construction occurred, but many were excited finally to view Las Vegas from the top of this massive tower. However, it also seemed to attract the attention of some mentally unstable people. Construction on the world's highest roller coaster began in 1996, but quickly suffered some strange problems. Most people wouldn't mind getting on a roller coaster, but over 1,000 feet from the ground is even more terrifying.
I can't wait to ride this attraction. If you guys don't know how it works, so basically it takes you like forward and then it like drops you a little bit, takes you even more forward, brings you back and tilts you back. I am ready to ride this.
Known as High Roller, experienced frequent breakdowns, and ultimately it was a failure once it finally was removed just 9 years after its construction. Could the strange activity on this abnormal roller coaster be due to some type of paranormal activity? Other roller coasters were built in its place, but nothing seemed to be able to remove the strange ghostly sightings. 4 troubled minds sought to end their problems by climbing over security fences, then leaping from the tower. Guests at the hotel have reported ghostly activity from a woman named Melanie Bell, who was near the coaster during her final moments. Many report her being somewhat hypnotized by the height of the tower the day before, and she had displayed signs of depression well before the plunge. Could the tower be luring troubled souls as well? And number 1.
Not to make a dark joke out of it, but is that why they have the bungee jumping now? God, I'm going to hell.
Ruins of Six Flags New Orleans. Roller coasters are all fun and games until Hurricane Katrina comes knocking at your front door. Mother Nature released her fury on the Big Easy, and one of the biggest victims was Six Flags New Orleans. This is one of the creepiest amusement parks with
Oh my God, that is absolutely insane.
roller coasters that are 100% abandoned to this day. When Hurricane Katrina flooded the park, everything was too damaged to repair, and it was just easiest to
That makes a lot of sense. If it's costing more in repairs than it is to open up the park again, you might as well just shut it down.
let it rot. There have been plenty of attempts to rebuild the amusement park, all which have completely failed. Trespassers looking to get some creepy urban exploring photos are prosecuted, and cameras are set up on the property. Maybe because they don't want you to find the ghost here. There's just something flat out creepy about a place that's meant to be.
Doesn't matter how much security you'll put up, someone will find a way to urban explore the area.
Becoming victim of urban decay, as you can tell from the photo of this roller coaster ride, the Jester. It no longer hosts those thrill-seeking attendants. There were a few different accidents and tragedies at this theme park as well before it was hit by the hurricane, so it certainly has the potential to be haunted. But if anything, the ghosts of Hurricane Katrina certainly still haunt all the attractions here, and no one will be getting on the roller coasters here anytime soon.
Alright guys, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this series. It's just one, again, of like 449 videos that we're going to be watching. I'm going to leave the channel and the video in the description box below if you guys couldn't hear it. I'm so sorry. Again, I just kept it down because for my own kind of just feelings of just scary stuff, I do like scary stuff, but at the same time, I need to like kind of have like a volume barrier as well because I have very sensitive hearing. But thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your comments below of what you thought of the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, little skeletons. Stay safe. I love you guys.